What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this is my recap review for the Shy Season 4, Episode 10 of Raising in the Sun. Now, the last episode, we done seen Doodah beat the hell out of Marcus and cracked his head open like a scrambled egg, left him leaking on the carpet, and we see all kind of other stuff going on with Jake, Gemma, and the crew, so we about to see how it all concludes. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, bang that bell, and let's get into it. I'm trying to get to 30k subs, and I can use your support, so please, let's do this. Now, let's get into it. When the episode kicks off, we see Marcus getting loaded into the ambulance, and we see Trig and Shad talking about what's going on, but ain't no police interviewing them, and Doodah is nowhere to be found, and he worried that he may take the blame for it. We also see that now Nina is pissed that Dre been giving her the cold shoulder, and she's telling us it's enough. She tired of that, and she want this to be over with. So Nina tells her, look, I'm ready to do whatever it takes to get back to normal. And then Dre say, ain't no way we gonna be back to normal. Meanwhile, Jake ain't able to get no sleep. He just been worried about her daddy head scrambled like an omelet. And she's talking about how nice it was. He like, we didn't even do nothing. She said, I know, I like it like that. Meanwhile, Kev waking up, big baby Nate done bounced on his ass. So he's waking up like, what's up? What you doing? And she's saying she gotta go. She been here too long. It's time for her to go. She being her usual rude, mean self, even though this boy done gave her a place to lay her head for the night. And so she walking out. Meanwhile, Jake, he looking a little worried because she talking about take her home. And he's saying, look, your daddy, he ain't already gonna be woke. Why not get you some breakfast first? He trying to delay the inevitable. Meanwhile, it's big baby Lene trying to leave up out of here. We see Dre, she like, Lene, what you doing? And so before anybody could say anything, Kevin come down, and now he looking like a deer in the headlines. He don't know what to say, and he's asking her, before she could even say anything, she's like, look, you lucky I caught this instead of your mama. And he say, you are my mom's. And she say, don't try to butter me up. What's she doing here? And then so Lene, she started explaining to her she ain't had no place to go and all the drama. Meanwhile, we see Shy come back with a little peace offering of some little donuts, and he's trying to make up with, Imani. And Imani is like, I see the donuts, I ain't hear no apology. Meanwhile, Trig trying to stay out of it while they try to work it out. He like, damn, what I gotta do? And she said, yeah, you thought you was better than me. He said, look, I'm sorry. She said, okay, yeah, whatever. And so it seemed that they kind of patching things up. Meanwhile, we see that Tiff is over here getting her eat on right here. And not only is Dante giving her, sausage at night, he gave her some sausage in the morning as well on that pizza. And so she eating it, and she like, what about it? What you think about me leaving Emmett? And he say, for what? And she said, to be with your ass, fool. And he said, what? I don't know what you mean. She like, yeah, I mean, we already together all the time anyway. We might as well be together. He said, no. I'm not your man. I'm your nigga. He said, look, I'm the one you call when your son need a haircut. I'm the one you need when you want to come and chill and you got problems with your man. I ain't trying to be your man. And so that kind of hurt her feelings, and it was a wake-up call, and she got a double dose of sausage with a little bit of truth on the side. Meanwhile, we see that Jake and Gemma, they come in to get a little food, and everybody is looking at them like, what y'all was on, looking all guilty. And so while they sitting there talking, she could hear the TV on in the other room, and it's basically saying that her daddy wig got split. And so she goes in there and sees that he's all on the news and he fighting for survival, and so she start crying. Meanwhile, we see Doodah in the dark over here looking like the Dark Knight wannabe, trying to talk with a little press conference about what's going on. And then we see Tracy, and she's talking about all the good things that the mayor's office is trying to put together and all their little programs. And I don't know why they don't have the lights on in City Hall. Meanwhile, we see Tiff come walk her little swole booty ass up in the house, and Emmett, he just fed up. He under the covers like, he just like a little kid. He don't know what to do. He told her, I'm tired of you coming in late like this. I don't want to be with you no more. And she's talking about some, here we go, I ain't got time for this. And he said, you know what, I'm done. I'm leaving. And so she finally realized she done pushed it to the limit too far, like Rick Ross. Meanwhile, we see that Doodah is sitting there with Tracy and the organization, everybody giving the claps and all the high fives and whatever. The grandmas and the bag lady alliance is all proud of the work that's been done. And then while he talking with Trig, he say, man, you better hope he dies. And Trig say, no, I hope he lives. And so Doodah realizes that he may not have a good, person on his side with Trig, because Trig wants him to live and he tried to destroy Doodah. Meanwhile, we see they get to the hospital, and the first thing Jimma do is hug Trig as if he was like an uncle or whatever. And so she worried about her daddy. He said, we'll be here for you. She don't know all the extent of what happened yet. And so she ready to go home. Meanwhile, we see Lene, and she talking with Dre at the office, and she's telling her, look, I want to help you. And so she's saying, I don't need your help. She say, you remind me of myself. I ain't like you. And so everything that Dre would say, she has some little smart comment to say. And Dre is saying, look, I got kicked out the house at a young age and I had to find a new family. She say, so that's what I'm gonna have to do. She said, maybe, but I want to be there to help you. And she's like, why are you trying to help me? I don't need your help. I'll figure it out just like you did. And so she's real stubborn, and I guess that's her protective mode. So as Jimma's leaving the hospital, she say she gonna check the cameras, because there's cameras everywhere. She about to find out what happened, and Jake know it's about to be trouble. Meanwhile, we see Trig and Shad, and they sitting at the table playing cards, reminiscing about old times. And then he starts to talk about Meldrick, and he say, whatever happened to Meldrick, man? And that was my guy. And he tell him, man, Meldrick got killed, man. He got hit by a car. And Shad didn't notice. He like, what? Really? And Trig like, man, I thought you heard, I thought you knew. And he's like, nah, man, that was my guy, man. I was gonna rob the ice cream truck, man, and he stopped me when I was a shorty and gave me some ice cream, man. That was my guy. Meanwhile, we see Jada, and she embracing the low cut fade. And then all of a sudden, we see she got a call from the doctor. Emmett is in there to help vacuuming, and she tells Emmett that the doctor said that she may not need no more treatment. The cancer is looking like it's in remission. So he happy, everybody happy. It's a little feel-good moment. It seemed like she got a win. Meanwhile, back at the house, Jimma is pulling up the security camera footage, but before she could really get a good look, Jake stop her and tell her it's something he needs for her to know before she finished watching. And she say, what? And then he bring her outside and say, look, when I came in, my brother, he was there with your father, and his head was bust open, and he was trying to help him. And she say, what? Your brother did this? He say, no, my brother the reason that your daddy alive, but I don't want my brother go back to jail. Meanwhile, we see that Kev is talking with Lene, and she's over here saying she might be moving in, and he's saying, oh, word, I'm gonna have to see what's up with that. And she say, well, I don't know, it ain't really up to you. You ain't got no say so. And she trying to lightweight bully him, but he a little, simp, so he happy it might be some in-house booty on the way. Meanwhile, we see Keisha, and she's sitting there with Westbrook, and Westbrook is sitting here trying to be all sweet, talking about some, do you want to be my lady? Because he said somebody asked if they was together and he wasn't sure, and so she checked yes and give it to him. So he happy as a kid in the candy store. It's like he in first grade again, asking, do you like me? Do you want to go with me? Meanwhile, we see Shad, and he's sitting there still playing cards. That's one long ass card game they playing. And when they playing, next thing you know, Jake come in, and he's telling Shad and Trig that he had to tell Jimma what happened. And so Shad pop up like, boy, you snitching? And so he's saying, no, I ain't snitching. And so Trig try to tell him to chill, don't trip like that. I'm glad you told, because we got to get this out. I'm a done deal already. You need to focus on you the future of the family, and we just gonna have to deal with it and make whatever happen happen. Meanwhile, Shad ain't looking too serious about that, because he don't want his boy to go to jail, and Jake don't know what to do. Meanwhile, we see Doodah, and he's sitting there having a nice little candlelit dinner with Tracy at the place, and she's sitting here saying she proud of him, and she thinks she falling in love with him and all this. He's like, what do you mean you think you falling in love? And so he being all little, suave and debonair, and next thing you know, he come grab a little bit of them, rump roast, and he kissing her, and seemed like he putting the moves on Tracy. He done found him a new future Miss X Doodah. So meanwhile, we see the next day that Gemma come there, knock on the door, and she comes and let him know, here. He say, what, you gonna come put my brother in jail? She say, no, I come to free you. I couldn't bring myself to watch the footage. And so she gives him the footage and say, here, do with it what you wish. And so then next thing you know, Jake, he leave with her, and then Trig, he like can't believe she did that. So once he get the footage, he let her go or whatever, but he run into the damn computer in the house. He can't even get the damn card in there fast enough. He like so excited. And then when he finally uploaded, he see what happened to do to him, because he didn't actually see it his damn self, because he was on the porch. And then he sees everything right there. Beating this man to death and cracked his egg real quick. And so now he don't know what to do. He's upset. Meanwhile, we see later, Duda's at the house. Trig shows up and he tells him, look, it was some video footage there, man, and we got you on footage. And he say, oh, okay, so what we need to do? He said, look, what I want you to do is leave town. He say, is that right? He said, yeah, I need you to go. He said, so what do you want for the footage? He said, no, you don't get it. I don't want nothing. I want you to leave. You need to disappear. And Duda like, don't you know I can have your girlfriend's license revoked and I can have you back in prison? And he said, boy, you must really be scared right now, huh? And Duda trying to threaten him, saying he can have everybody thrown in jail or killed or whatever the case. And he said, you know what? Tell Tracy I said what's up. And Tracy overheard everything. Meanwhile, we see Gemma at the hospital with her daddy. His head cracked. He over here fighting for his life. And she's just real sad about what happened. Later, we see that they threw a little party for, Jada, and it was a surprise party, and everybody is sitting there giving her hugs and well wishes, and we see that everybody is happy and proud for her and that she's doing better, and it seemed like a real feel-good moment. Later, we see that Tracy ready to leave, and so Duda trying to convince her to stick around, and she's like, you know what? I can't believe this. You need to leave, like he said, before it's too late. You got a chance right now to still look good. He's like, I can't believe you still care about my, legacy. She said, your legacy? I'm worried about me. I don't need them all up in my snooping around in my business and looking at my paperwork. And she said, I gotta go. I can't deal with this right now. And so he's just looking salty because now he left with nothing right now. Meanwhile, we see at the party that Westbrook then showed up, and he's over here met with Emmett, and so he said, you must be Emmett. He's like, the one and only. What's up, man? You better take care of my girl right here. And so Keisha's sitting here looking at Emmett, trying to, fill out Westbrook. He asked him if he smoked weed. He said, no. He's saying, man, what's up with this dude, man? This dude tripping, man. And so he trying to tell him, hey, look, you about to get her a drink? Give me a drink too. And he said, I think not. And so Emmett got a little jokes on his ass. Meanwhile, we see that now Dre coming to Nina, and she says, look, you want to make things work? I don't know, but one thing I do need is for us to help Lene. And so Nina agrees, and they go ahead and kiss and make up. Meanwhile, we see Emmett and Tiff coming to have a little meeting of the minds. She's saying, you gotta promise you ain't gonna never cheat on me no more. He said, I promise, because I can't do this no more. I'm tired of this open relationship, open marriage. And so she say, yeah, well, you gotta promise. Say you promise you never cheat. And he say, I promise. And he say, you promise. And she say, I promise I'm gonna do my best. And he say, man, that ain't the same. She say, Emmett, don't break my heart no more. And so they kind of have a little meeting of the minds, a little agreement that they ain't gonna mess around no more, although she kind of a little more reluctant than he is. Meanwhile, we see Duda, and he getting in the ride with his wife Roz, and so she's back in the picture. She said, I ain't gonna be here no more to be picking your ass up. And he said, yes she is. And so they pull off, look like he about to dip out of town. Meanwhile, we see Shad and Imani walking in the alley going to the party with Jada, and all of a sudden they get bumped by the little young killer, Ronnie's killer. And so they grab him up and they asking him, what the hell you doing? And Bakari is like, boy, he look at him like he crazy for grabbing up on him. And Shad tell him he better apologize. And he said, man, what's that? That's your woman now? And so he say, no, that's my family. And he say, man, we already know that ain't no woman, no way. And so Shy pissed, he like really trying to defend Imani honor. And so Imani standing there while he just defended Imani, and he let him go, and Bakari kind of walk off. And as they walking away, Shy say, don't worry, I got your back. I know you just got your hair did. You got them new French tips. I know it's like a lot to get done. And it looked like Bakari was gonna shoot him, but he didn't. Meanwhile, we see Jada giving a speech, giving thanks to everybody that supported her, from Suede Sideburns to Darnell to her son, to everybody. Buckwheat is there in attendance, and he's happy. You know, Emmett and his girlfriend / wife is happy, but at the same time, she already looking to creep. She over here talking to Shumpty Dumpty over here, and he got his eye on her, talking about, yeah, you the wee girl, wee lady. I like to get some first-hand, knowledge and experience with you. And so he just spit some game, and she was ready to pick it all up real quick. Meanwhile, we see that Linnea's moving in. She moving in. She got boxes of stuff. Kev telling her he gonna get a drawer out. She like, I got a lot of shit. I need more than that. And so that Nina and talking about we don't cuss, and Dre like, yeah, we do. And so, she got some adjusting to do. Later that night, we see that Tiff, with her little thick, juicy legs and booty, get up out the bed in the middle of the night, ready to creep while Emma's asleep. And next thing you know, she ready to climb that little beanstalk, that little, Shumpty Dumpty. She want to sit on that wall, and it look like she ain't no good. Meanwhile, the show wraps up with Papa's Pulpit, his podcast, and it seems like it's starting to get a little bit of a following. He's talking about all the good things in the city and some of the things that he proud most about the city, and it's showing a lot of clips and montage of people doing hopscotch and barbecuing and riding a bike. Kev still riding kooky bike like he should be trying to get a license. We also see Doodah dipping out of the damn city, and he got his bags packed, where Rose is sitting in his office like she about to run things. Imani walking around, chest out. We see Trig got him a little "We All We Need" t-shirt, and we see that Westbrick is sitting here trying to be Keisha's new man. They got the Jesse White tumblers in the street. It seemed like a little old block party, just like it used to be back in the days, and it seems that everything all good. They got people getting haircuts in the middle of the street. Papa, he's sitting on Swole, ready to have a good time, and it seemed like a happy ending. And if this was going to be the finale of the season or of the show, then it seemed they wanted to end on a good note. Now it's time for some real talk. This episode was all right. I think that they would have been better off ending the episode when Bakari, the killer, ended up popping either Shy or Imani. I mean, the way that they filmed it, if that's what was going to happen, they should have just used a random person instead of a person that we were familiar with that was a killer. So by using him, I think they should have made him do what he does best, which is kill. Anyway, it was interesting to see that Tiffany is now the one that is addicted to cheating and has that wandering eye. And it's kind of unfortunate for Emmett that now that he got his act together, that the woman that he loved is now going to be breaking his heart and creeping on him. And he's definitely going to finally understand what it was like to be cheated on and heartbroken, like what he was doing all the years to the women that he was in relationships with. And it's just messed up, especially since he married her and he's trying to do the right thing. And it just go to show that he made a mistake with cheating, but also with telling her, because obviously she can't deal with it the right way, and she want more than revenge. She want to break his heart, probably destroy him mentally and emotionally. So we'll see what happens on the next season, depending on how it goes. And also, it seems that Jada, it was going that it looked like she was going to die this season, but she didn't.
And it seems that if she does, maybe it will be next season. They kind of gave her a little feel-good moment, and that's something that's a little different this season on the shot and other seasons, is that they made it all a bunch of feel-good moments. Nobody died. It didn't seem too bad, and it seemed like everything was all good in the hood. And exactly what they kind of depicted at the end was that everything was all good in the hood as long as Papa Pulpit was up and running. And Doodah, speaking of running, is just going to disappear as the mayor of Chicago, and nobody's going to wonder what happened to the mayor. He just quit the job, just disappeared, and just left. Nobody is going to be a nationwide manhunt. What happened to the mayor of Chicago, the third largest city in the world? The mayor just disappears. So that's very strange, as well as having Roz be in the office. But they would have her as the number one prime suspect for the murder. How are you trying to take over, but your husband, the mayor, has disappeared, and all you worried about is being in charge and taking his job? That wouldn't work. She would definitely look guilty, and they would throw her ass straight in women's prison in Joliet. Anyway, it was alright episode. This season of The Chi wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Hopefully the next season, if they have one, will be better than ever, and we'll see what happens. In the end, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit that like, subscribe, bang that bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.